So I knew that God had an amazing, beautiful will for my life, and that's when He called me to a beautiful marriage. And I quickly realized there was something wrong because I couldn't completely connect with my husband and be what I should have been for him. And so I asked God where that was coming from, and He showed me that there was a lot of blocks into a wall, and it was separating from me from my husband. And I asked God where that was stemming from, and He showed me there was a root that I thought I had healed from as a Christian. That's what I couldn't understand, is I had become a Christian, and there were still a lot of problems I was dealing with as a wife. And He took me back to my past, to where I was actually on a school bus. I started being molested at a very young age on the school bus. And this didn't happen behind closed doors. This happened this was public. There was a lot of people around. It was always loud, and no one ever noticed. And one day I realized I was going to have to do something. And so as he got on the school bus that day, my heart was pounding. And I had a plan that he was not going to sit with me that day. And so I backed myself up against the school bus wall, and when he went to sit down, I kicked him as hard as I could. And I don't think I hurt him, but I noticed it drew a lot of attention, and he never sat with me again. And so God showed me that I had been kicking people ever since that day. Even my husband, when he would, do the things I asked, and he got sober, and he would go the extra mile, there were still blocks I was putting up between him and me. And that block was a block of jealousy, a block of insecurity. And that was a block of trying to control him. That was a block of trying to kick him. It got bad. And he kept trying. The more he tried, the harder I kicked, I feel like. But I had to learn to accept God's true love. And that was something that was unconditional. That's something I couldn't understand. I accepted Christ, but I hadn't accepted His unconditional love. And when I accepted that and learned what that truly was, that's when I was able to give that to my husband. And that's when that wall came down.
God truly blessed me. It was evident from my adolescent years. He blessed me with a sharp mind. He blessed me with the ability to be able to understand, to learn, to have knowledge. And it was pretty clear that with that ability that I would be able to obtain a college degree. I did a couple of years in school. After about 2 years though, when I was on the verge of getting an associate's degree, that's whenever the enemy started putting a wall in my life. And the wall that the enemy put in my life was the wall of substance abuse. Whenever the enemy began to lay this wall in my life, he put the foundation for my failure. If alcoholism was the mortar, then the brick was my insecurities. If opiate use was the mortar, then the brick was me feeling uneducated. If methamphetamines was the mortar, then the brick was me feeling dumb. If IV drug use was a mortar, then the death of my ambition was the brick. It was only when I met Jesus Christ that He gave me the spiritual senses and the ability to be able to realize that tearing down this wall was possible.
Beautiful future God had planned for me was my family, my children. I really enjoyed being a father to them. There's just some beautiful things that we've done together. I enjoyed taking them to church, teaching them about Jesus. Unfortunately, the enemy came and started to build some walls in my mind. And when you start building walls, you got to start with the foundation. Then it's mortar, then it's block after block after block, until it reaches so high that you can't see over it. The most ways that the enemy blocked me out of my kid's life was when I turned to prescription medication. My children just could not understand why that they didn't have the father that they used to have. Each and every day of my life, I just come more consumed to drugs, just trying to deal with the pain. The enemy done everything to wall me out of being a father and destroy my children's life and my life also. I became so broken in life, I didn't have nowhere else to turn to. And all along I knew Jesus was the only answer to turn my life around. And when I come to RSM, that's what I done. I turned my life around and give my heart to Jesus. And He has helped me tear those walls down day by day, inch by inch. Now that the Lord has helped me tear down the walls in my life, I see now how much it is helping my children tear down the walls that's in their life.
At 19, God created me and called me to be a mother to my kids and to be a good role model to teach them right from wrong. But unfortunately, the enemy created walls in my life, and my biggest wall was substance abuse. And the mortar was the shame that came with being a mother and not being able to stop, even when I knew that they needed me. It was only whenever I lost my children that I realized the walls were there. When I came to RSM, God really showed me how to break down those walls of shame and guilt in order to get my kids back.